The Director, you talked about you have concern about parents having a vested interest. Is that at all offset by the fact that DHS might have a vested interest, or DCFS employees anywhere online might have a vested interest in information not being revealed?
Senator Clark, I operate on doing what's right for children and families. That's my MO. I'm not protecting DHS. I make decisions that are good for children and families. And you know, and I hope maybe others in this community know that when you bring issues to me and those cases, we made a mistake or we didn't do something right, I take action, and so do my executive staff. So if we identify an issue, we are not involved in a cover-up. We are addressing those problems with our local staff.
Okay, so let me make this disclaimer before we go forward. Both you and Major Stayton have been very helpful in the past few months in particular cases that I'm aware of, where it appeared that things were not being handled the way that they should be. And I'm most appreciative of that. Some of that I am not sure would have happened 2 years ago, and I think if I asked you to opine on that under oath, you might have to agree. So this has nothing to do with how anyone feels about you personally, okay? Because there are things that are going on that you may not know about. Correct? I mean, 7,200 employees approximately, right?
Well, I supervise 1,100 employees, but yes, there's 5,150 children in foster care, and it's very likely that I do not know every case under my supervision.
Okay, is it possible that there would be wrongdoing somewhere among that number of people?
Absolutely, and as I mentioned, the cases that have been brought to my attention, we have actively taken action to either take employ disciplinary action if necessary, or sometimes it's just guiding staff. You know that I've made it a mission to really increase relative placement. I believe we provided, I hope that you received yesterday, to demonstrate what we've done just in the last few months on increasing relative placement. And that's statewide data. We've had significant increase in relative placement in the last few months, and we're just starting. So we are addressing some issues across the state, though I do not know every single case that we're having problems with.
And I appreciate that you are addressing those things, and I believe that to be true. Let's, because we're not going to be talking about a specific case, let's just mention in passing Greene County. What if a legislator had been apprised of that problem months ago? How do we have any way of looking into problems like that?
Can I ask, Mike, I don't know if I can talk about what happened in Greene County with me.
I'm not asking you to get into the specifics.
Let me
say, if anyone's not aware, in Greene County, we have fired, I think I said that, we have fired a supervisor. I think that's public record. Another supervisor has resigned. I mean, I'm getting this from the newspaper, so. We're not talking about any cases now.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Senator Clark. I'm just trying to make sure that, I talk about what I can talk about. I believe that we did release information about employment action in Greene County under the Freedom of Information Act. And yes, the county supervisor is no longer with us, and we've had 3 other resignations in that county since that time.
And there was a pool party. There was a team building exercise, billed as a team building exercise, that was a pool party on a Tuesday.
That came out in the fact finding, yes, sir.
Yes, okay. And are you aware, and I imagine you are you aware that one of the caseworkers had 3 child visitations that day that all were past due, had taken a great deal of time? to say, I mean, I could have somebody come testify to that, but.
Right. When Senator Clark, I mean, we took action. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I think the original question that you asked me was if a legislator knew about that, what would they do? And the answer is, you guys can call me, you can call Kelly Link, who's in our Office of Governmental Affairs. He and I work very closely together to listen to these concerns and to look into each incident. And this particular incident was raised by both, it came from the governor's office. So we are taking complaints from other governmental entities very seriously.
Okay, so